Welcome back to our channel. Today, we are going to recap a sci-fi adventure movie, Stargate, released in the year 1994. In 8000 BC, a community of primitive people in the North African desert were peacefully sleeping in their quarters when an unknown figure descended from the sky. Everyone panics, running for their lives, except for a teenage boy who's rather curious about what arrived and approaches it without knowing how it will change his whole life. The movie skips to 1928 when a young Catherine Langford and her father arrive at a dig site. Another mercenary leads them to unearthed covered stones, while Catherine picks up a necklace with the sign of Ra, the sun god. Her father invites her to the portal they unearthed from the ground and found some kind of fossils underneath it. The movie skips again to the present day 1994. Catherine has all grown up and goes to Daniel Jackson's talk, asserting the theory that the Pharaohs did not build the pyramids. He is an Egyptologist and linguist, but he's often ridiculed by others for not getting much out of it. He was terminated from his living space, and this talk is his only chance to get his big shot. However, most of the people in the audience just laughed at his words and left before he could finish, except for Catherine, who seemed very interested in his knowledge. After his talk, he plans to run toward the rain when a man stops him and escorts him to a car where Catherine is waiting for him. He reluctantly goes inside, and as soon as he enters the car, Catherine immediately offers him a translation job and travel documents. At first, Daniel seems to dismiss the offer, but once Catherine pointed out that he has nowhere else to go, he accepts the offer. Elsewhere, the U.S. Air Force paid a visit to Special Operations Colonel Jack O'Neill in his home, and he is currently mourning the death of his son, who accidentally shot himself with Jack's gun. They inform him that he is needed for his service. He accepts it and goes back to work, where he is assigned to oversee the project led by Catherine. Daniel arrives at the military installation, where he is greeted by the rest of Catherine's team, Barbara and Dr. Gary. They show him the same covered stones they unearthed in Egypt, and he immediately notices the carved writings. He goes to work and corrects some of the mistranslations done by Dr. Gary, and translates some of it as well based on his knowledge. He also tells them about the Stargate based on his translation. There he meets Jack, who coldly informs him about his task of overseeing every moment of this project and that non-military personnel aren't allowed to obtain classified information about the project without his permission. This leaves Daniel with limited resources to work with, but more than enough as, after 2 weeks, he successfully solves the mystery behind the stones. He discovers that the figures were constellations leading them to the Stargate, which is on the other side of the universe. Because of his discovery, the team shows him the portal, their Stargate, that was found with the stones. With this discovery, everyone goes to work to activate the Stargate, which they successfully do. The Stargate activates, but they fail to get anything from the other side. The general almost cancels the mission, but Daniel proposes that he's capable of doing it, so the project continues. With a small team led by Jack, Daniel is set to go to the other side of the world to discover what's inside the Stargate. Before leaving, Catherine gives him the necklace she found back in 1928. Despite being hesitant, they finally enter the Stargate and end up inside the pyramid, which is a perfect replica of the Pyramid of Giza. Everything about this amazes Daniel, but his companions are rather unimpressed. After hearing that Daniel cannot translate the Stargate without the help of the civilizations living in that place, one of them gets upset with him. The team also bullies him whenever they get a chance. Unknown to them, Jack is inside the pyramid, assembling a bomb that only he is aware of. Meanwhile, Daniel brushes off the bullying and instead approaches an unknown domesticated animal. However, due to his clumsiness, he gets dragged by the animal, so Jack and 2 of his members, Kowalski and Brown, had no choice but to go after him and leave his men Riley, Porro, Freeman, and Freddy behind to guard their camp. Because of this, they find countless people building a mine nearby. Since Daniel is the linguist, Jack puts him in charge of communicating with them, but he is also clueless about what they're saying. To their surprise, when the people of that civilization saw the necklace on his neck, everyone bowed to their knees, while one of them, Kasuf, called for their leader. While they're checking the materials the people were mining, the leader comes and gives his respect to Daniel because of the necklace. After exchanging words that neither side understood, Jack's team decides to go to their dwelling place, as Daniel thinks they can help them return. While at their place, a siren goes off, and everyone starts to panic because of what seems to be a sandstorm. One of Jack's men tries to radio the others who were on the pyramid, but they cannot relay any messages due to the winds gushing. When he realizes he has no contact with the other team, Jack proposes that they leave and go back to the pyramid. However, primitive people stop them in their tracks. At first, they felt threatened as they thought they were being held hostage. But once Jack realized that it was to stop them from getting caught in the sandstorm, they decided to spend the night until it was safe to go outside. Out of everyone, Daniel is the one who is most at ease with the tribe's people. They discover that everyone in the tribe refuses to draw the Eye of Ra out of fear. To his surprise, the leader presents a beautiful woman, Shaori, to him so he can sleep with her, which he refuses. Still, he is interested in her, but most especially when she draws the symbol Earth. Meanwhile, while Daniel and the rest of the team are resting, those who are left in the pyramid find themselves seeing a ship land on top of the pyramid as it transforms. The four of them try to defend themselves and engage in combat in the dark. However, they are immediately overpowered. As a result, two of them get killed while the other two get captured. These beings also discover the bomb that Jack was hiding. Back in the tribe's camp, Jack finds himself becoming friends with Kasuf, who is very curious about his things, so Jack gives him his lighter. However, when Kasuf is about to get his gun, he starts to shout at him, scaring the boy. He was reminded of his son, who had just passed away. Meanwhile, Daniel was able to decipher and translate the writings with the woman's help. When Jack comes to him, he explains that Ra is an alien being who came to Earth during the ancient Egyptian period, in search of a new host as he was dying. When he learned that humans heal fast, he decided to possess one, a teenage boy, from the very beginning to prolong his life. As he found himself strong again, he appointed himself ruler. The people they just met were originally from Earth, but Ra used the Stargate to bring some of them to the other side of the universe, to mine the minerals he uses to sustain his life. Because of this, the rest of the humans on Earth revolted and buried the Stargate so they could never come back. To prevent a rebellion from happening again, Ra banned writing and reading among this race of humans. While inside the place, they also found the symbols they need for the Stargate. Unfortunately, the seventh one is worn out, which means that they cannot leave the place. They go back to the pyramid only to see how it has completely transformed into Ra's ship and dwelling place. They sneak inside without knowing that Kasuf and some of his friends followed them, but stayed outside. Just like his team, Jack and Daniel were immediately captured by the humanoid with a dog head. It leads them to Ra, who shows them the bomb that Jack was in charge of. Jack, who couldn't bear not having control over the situation, tries to break free by using the weapon of Ra's people. As a result, Daniel is thrown into a bed that regenerates him using alien technology. Meanwhile, Kasuf and his friends find Jack's team's bag and their weapons. However, their community gets attacked by Ra's people as a punishment for helping Daniel and his team. In the pyramid, Daniel finally regains his life and consciousness. He meets Ra, who reveals his plan to send back the bomb to Earth with some of their minerals, which will increase its power 100-fold and will definitely cause the end of Earth to destroy the entire civilization. He also plans to use Daniel to appease his believers, so they will not turn their backs on him again, just like what happened to Earth when Daniel publicly executed Jack and the rest of the team. Ra invites the tribe to watch the public execution. However, Kasuf and his friends help create a diversion, allowing Daniel and his team to escape. However, due to the chaos and Ra's people, they were separated in the desert, where Kasuf saves them again. Only 4 of them were saved. There, Jack reveals his orders about the bomb, which are to track down any sign of danger and stay behind, manually detonating the bomb to destroy Stargate once the rest of the team safely returns home. Daniel also reveals Ra's plan to send the bomb back to Earth and destroy their civilization completely. Back in their hiding place, Daniel finally discovers the 7th symbol with Kasuf's help. From there, they formulate a plan to go back home and defeat Ra. Part of their plan is to return to the mining place, where they'll pose as workers. Once they catch the attention of one of Ra's people, they will reveal that they are false gods and nothing but mere humanoids. They were finally enlightened and decided that they could no longer live as slaves, so they will overthrow Ra. Some of them successfully entered the pyramid, but a firefight ensued instantly when Ra's people checked their identities. As a result, some of them got trapped inside, while others fought some of Ra's followers. Meanwhile, Jack successfully retrieves the bomb and passes the job of dismantling it on Earth to Daniel, while he stays and makes sure the bomb goes off. However, one of Ra's people discovers them and tries to kill Daniel but shoots Shari instead. Upon realizing she is dead, Daniel carries her to the regeneration bed, where she's brought back to life while Jack defends the bomb. With his help, he also teleports the follower's body in exchange for Shari, and Daniel successfully retrieves Catherine's necklace from Ra. Meanwhile, the team outside is outpowered and surrenders. However, to their surprise, the tribal folk came to their rescue and started a rebellion by attacking Ra's followers. Ra, seeing that he lost control over his followers in this civilization, takes it as a sign to leave the planet. Jack discovers that he cannot stop the bomb and decides to teleport it to Ra's ship, instantly killing him before he could even escape. The people exclaim in joy as they are finally free from being slaves. The rest of the team goes to Stargate to return to their home, while Daniel stays behind with Shari and the civilization. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more movie recaps. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.